Okay, who am I and what would I know? I am Jess. I have been Facebook advertising now for 4 years. I have learnt over $300,000 worth of lessons. So Facebook has $300,000 of mine and my clients' money, which has been a fairly steep learning curve. I've learnt these lessons so that you don't have to. So that's what I want to impart with you today, is the lessons that I've learnt so that you don't have to spend $300,000 to get these. I don't just work in a Facebook advertising capacity. I work on end-to-end sales funnels. So there's the advertising, then there's the landing pages, and then there's the funnel that goes with it. So that if you sign up for a lead page, so an email address, sign up with an email address versus then purchasing something, upsells, downsells, all of that. So the whole end-to-end sales funnel process. I do that for both myself and for clients, and we use that for B2B and then also for B2C as well. So depending on where your business lies and who you're selling to, I've had experience in both of those areas. But that's kind of not what I'm passionate about. I've realised in probably the last 12 months that my passion actually lies in being able to empower other people, in particular women, to do this themselves. So providing training on digital marketing, so things like content and strategy and funnels and mindset. So, where you need to have your mind at to be able to be successful when you're doing these things. And the premise of all of that, what I'm really, really passionate about, is helping women to earn what they're worth. And that's where all of this has sort of stemmed from. I recently read a report that said women business owners actually earn the least than any other sort of male, female, you name it, in employment or in business. Female entrepreneurs earn the least because we don't value the gifts and the talents that we have. So that's what I am all about, is making you aware of what your talents are so that you can earn what you're worth, and the tools that you need to be able to do that, along with the mindset to do that as well. So that's a very short history on me. So let's jump on in. Who should be using Facebook advertising? Basically, if you have a product that you wish to sell and a human is your market, then Facebook advertising is for you. There are 1.28 billion users on Facebook, and when I say 1.28 billion users, I mean daily users. So these are people who are logging in every single day. And 1.15 billion of those users are logging in on their mobile. And that becomes really important down the track. I just wanted to make you aware of that, just how high it is. It's like 97% logging in on their mobile. So it's really important that you get that mobile space really figured out when you're using Facebook ads. There are 17 million Australians, there are 16 million South Africans, and of those people, 50% log in every single day. So that's huge. There are huge numbers on Facebook, and that's why I say if you've got a product that you want to sell and humans are your market, then Facebook is the place for you. It doesn't really matter what type of product you have to sell either. So if you're a service-based business, if you have a physical good that you send out, or information products, it all works. They all work a little bit differently and you use different strategies for it, but they do all work. And when you are using Facebook advertising, you can, let's be honest, you can waste a lot of money. And the way that you waste a lot of money is not having the ability to capture the traffic that you generate. So it could be awesome, you're getting all of this traffic to your page or to your Facebook page or your website or wherever, but if you've got no system in place in which to capture that traffic, that's when you waste your money. And you hear a lot of stories about people saying that they wasted all their money on Facebook. It's not actually to do with the platform itself, but the strategy in which they were using it. So if you're using the right strategy for you, then you can absolutely use Facebook advertising successfully to earn money for your business. So why would you use Facebook advertising? What sort of things can you use it for? This is it. So you can use it for sales. And when I say sales, I mean straight to a landing page, instant sales. So we call that cold traffic if you're going from Facebook onto a landing page to a purchase. That's called cold traffic. But online sales are perfect for Facebook advertising. You might use it for branding. So I am not a fan of advertising for page likes. I think that is a waste of money. However, there is one way to kind of do that works for you. So they used to say when I first started out in marketing that a client had to see you 7 times. So a prospect would need to see you 7 times prior to them recognizing your brand and purchasing from you. These days, that's more like 12 to 15 times. That's a lot of times. So what do you do with that? You can use branding as an idea on Facebook ads, where you might be sharing a video or something where you're not actually asking people to buy from you. However, you are showing them that you exist, so they start to know who you are and understand you. Another way that works super cost effectively when you're on Facebook is that you don't actually pay. Well, there's 2 types of way to pay, and we'll come into that later on, but generally you don't pay for people to see your ad. So this branding, so people to need to see you sort of 12 to 15 times, you can get away with not paying for that. So how good is that? You can't do that on TV, and you can't do that in a paper. So that's where this really comes into its own. Another reason you might want to use it is social proof, and it sits pretty well with that branding as well. But things like if you've got an event that you're promoting, and how do you get people to know that you exist? How do you get people to know that other people, you want other people to tell people about you? So you can use advertising to build that proof that you exist, that you are, I was going to say cost effective. That's probably not the word that I was looking for. I was more looking for that you are trustworthy. That's the word I was looking for. So that you are trustworthy, and that's where social proof and advertising can help you with that. And then the other one is data capture. And so what do I mean by that? I mean things like email. So if you are using like a lead page, is what we call them, squeeze page, where you get someone's email address and then you email those people all the time. You might be getting a phone number. Or you might be pushing them through a sales funnel. So not quite the instant traffic that we're talking about, but a full sales funnel. Now, why would you use phone capture? It's all online, right? Kind of. It really depends on your business, and that's why having the right strategy is so important when using Facebook advertising. So I've got a client who is in the finance market, and they're traditionally the way that they have made their money and booked appointments is by calling. So they'll get the list out, and they'll have telemarketers. They've got 14 on there still now because it works, on there calling and booking appointments. So what we decided to do was go, okay, there's got to be a better way. Now that we're in this digital world, there's got to be a better way. So we started Facebook advertising. And so when we send someone from Facebook to a landing page, instead of just getting their email address, what we know that works for that client is to get their phone number and then calling them. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to get someone's phone number than it is to get their email, but the cost of their leads went from $5,000 for a sale down to $1,500. Now, I'm going to show you their advertising account later on when we do an example, and it was quite funny because before I jumped on for this, I just jumped in so that I had it up ready to go when we were chatting, and I saw that a lead has come through. I just started a new campaign with them, and a lead's come through for $42. Now, to some people's business, $42 might be a lot. For me, I was jumping up and down and so excited because $42 for a lead when it used to cost $5,000 or $1,500, like that's awesome. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. You'll see that in a minute. Yes, $40 for their email address doesn't mean that that's an appointment, but there's a lot of room to move there on these people on being able to bring the money down. So I hope you can see how that works and how that might work for you. We'll just move on, although I seem to have frozen my screen. There we go. So how much does Facebook advertising cost? The great news is that you are totally in control of spending and you set your own limits. So that's the real beauty of Facebook advertising. And when you set up, I'll just go through and then I'll talk a little bit more about it. So your payment then comes out at regular intervals, so you can set the limit. So I think actually when you first start, Facebook sets a limit at maybe $65. So when you spend $65, it will then bill your card. Or if you haven't reached that limit, it always bills at the end of the month. So when you set up, you pop in your credit card or your PayPal, wherever it is that you want to pay for your ads from. And then you're in full control every single day of how much you spend on Facebook advertising. So you can set a daily limit, you can set a campaign limit, or you can set, how do I say? like when I say campaign, you could be like a couple of days, or you can put that campaign out over an entire month. So there's a lot of control over the spending when you're doing Facebook ads, and that's the beauty of it. The part that I get really geeky about, which is so this is my little nerdy secret, is that I love the numbers of Facebook advertising. So you can see everything. You can see if it's working, or you can see if it's not. You can go through and break things down and see which parts are working, so you can then narrow into that part, and we'll look at that a little bit later on and then go from there. So it's a really awesome way of advertising and creating business for your business. So that's just a really quick overview of how all of that works. So I want to just check in and see if that makes sense with you, and if you have any questions.